I'm hoping that eBay will get its act together and the glitches will go away and fourth quarter can commence as it should. Hi guys, it's Misty and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Misty and I am a reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I also own a brick and mortar antique store called Wildflower Antiques. This video is my weekly what sold on eBay for the week of October 21st through the 27th, 2019. Now, I myself have been one of, I think, the few ones that haven't been terribly affected by the horrible eBay glitches that are going around. My sales were just down 5% last week. And I know that that's not the greatest thing in the world, but considering that there have been so many people that have been affected by these horrible glitches, I'm feeling pretty blessed right now. But I don't sell a lot of clothing items, and I know that the clothing items were the ones that were mainly the things that were problematic in the glitch. I mainly sell hard goods and vintage, so I didn't have a lot of listings that I had to go back and fix. Thankfully, because that I can't even imagine. I know that Lavender Clothesline, Karen, has had a horrible time and has been treated a little horribly by eBay in and itself. She has a series of videos that have been so helpful. So I am going to go ahead and link her channel below. If you've been affected by the eBay glitches, make sure that you go to her channel and watch her videos. She does a fabulous job at explaining things and giving updates. So make sure that you are subscribed to her channel on YouTube as well as Instagram. I'll link both below. But this is my eBay sales for the week. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start up here with my sellers hub. And you can see on eBay my total gross sales for last week were $899.57. My sales were down 5.5%, which isn't great, but you know, as compared to a lot of other sellers who are having horrible time with all of the glitches and their sales are down 80%. I am happy with the 5.5%. Probably, I'm assuming because I sell mainly hard goods than clothing, and I know a lot of the glitches were with the clothing pieces. I did go in and change all of my sizes and my clothing pieces, but again, I don't have a whole lot of clothing pieces any longer. So as you can see, Tuesday was my best day of the week, and Wednesday was my worst day of the week. So I'm fine with that. My sales down 5.5%. I can deal with compared to some of the nightmares that other sellers are going through. My best sale of the week, I'll go ahead and start with that, is these Mid-Century Modern Golden Peacock Egret Gravel Pebble Tile Wall Art. I picked both of these up at an auction. I want to say that I paid $2 a piece for them and sold them on eBay for $175.50, and the buyer paid shipping. And honestly, the shipping on these, you know, they were larger pieces of art, and I think it was under $10 to ship these out. So I was a little worried at first with the shipping, thinking that it was going to be just an outrageous amount because of the size, but it was, you know, like under $10 to ship these out. So I was pleased with that. So that was a great sell. And I can find mid-century modern pieces pretty readily in my area. It's just not a thing that sells very well in my area. So I like to put these pieces when I find them online. And you can see I had these at the shop, so I don't even have a white background. I just kind of leaned them against my counter at my shop and took pictures of them. They did have a little bit of condition issues as far as, you can see here in this picture, they were a little yellowed right in there. I did note that in the listing. I didn't attempt to clean these. I want to leave that for the buyer to do because I don't want to damage them any further. But they were really cool three-dimensional pieces. So definitely will keep my eyes out for these pieces again. All right, the next item that I sold was this Longaberger 1997 Halloween pumpkin basket with lid liner, tie-on, and it was a retired basket. This one's kind of surprised me. When I started looking up comps for these, I saw that they were selling for readily over $40. And I know that a lot of that is the time of year that this is being listed. And it is a cute little basket for a Longaberger basket. This actually was given to me by my mom. So, and I've had it displayed in my home for years, and then just decided it really wasn't my style anymore. And I decided to list it on eBay. It sold within a couple weeks' time for $45.50, and the buyer paid shipping. Now, not all Longaberger is good, so don't go out and source the Longaberger. I think the seasonal ones do much better than just your everyday regular ones. Okay, this next item is Disney Wally Robot. Now, I did sell this once before, and the buyer returned it. They said that it didn't work, but I had it listed in the listing everywhere that there's no remote. It lights up and talks, but it does not come with a remote. It does work. It lights up, it rolls forward. You just can't control it with the remote control. And the buyer, I went ahead and accepted their return. I relisted it, and I actually sold it for a little bit more than the original buyer had bought it for. I did make sure that the new buyer knew all of the issues that it had before I shipped it. So they were aware and wanted this piece. If it had the remote, they sell for well over $100. So it is a desirable little guy. And I did get him at Goodwill. I think I paid $3.99 for him. Okay, this next item are the Skechers Shape Up Work Tone-Up Shoes, slip-on black leather slip. These are basically like, they're shape-ups, but they're for work. I'm thinking like in a restaurant, or a chef or a server would wear these shoes. They're comfort shoes. These were in excellent condition. They barely looked worn at all. Picked these up at Goodwill for $4.50. I'm trying to show you the bottoms of them. They were in great condition. They sold very fast within a couple days for $35.50, and the buyer paid shipping. This next item was a magical musical thing. I actually have one of these that my mom had given me for a gift, and I actually found another one at Goodwill. So this one sold for $30.88. This was just a nostalgic toy. My mom actually got this for me for Christmas one year. This was one of my favorite toys as a child, and I did find one that at Goodwill that didn't have the original box. So I went ahead and kept the machine for myself and sold the box and the booklet with this one, and it sold for $30.88. I just wanted the machine. I didn't care that it had the box or the book, so sold it for $30.88, and the buyer paid shipping. This was I remember this was a great toy. Great toy. These UGG boots, they are the Liza shearling line boots, the size 9. I got these, I believe I picked these up from the bins, so paid maybe $1.50 for them. Sold them for $48.60, and the buyer paid shipping. The bottoms of these were all actually in really good condition. This style typically does pretty well. I've sold this style before, and this one did ship via global shipping. This next item is something that I picked up at an estate yard sale. This Nature Light Sunlight Touch Plus 10,000 Lux Bright Light Therapy Kit. It's basically a light kit that gives you UV rays and can help with depression and those types of things. It was used, but it had all the components and in the original box. It was only used a few times. I'm friends with the woman that I bought it from. And it sold for $24.23, and the buyer paid $8.30 in shipping. These next two items sold to the same customer. They were these little lusterware Ophelia Germany vintage napkin rings. There's the two little Dutch girls and a little Dutch boy in the middle. Set of 3 of these sold for $22.50, and the buyer paid $7.85 shipping. The same buyer also purchased this other little lusterware napkin ring holder, just this little single guy. I didn't know, he kind of looked like a hobo, clown, boy, man. So I put all of those adjectives in the listing. He is made in Japan, and I just put all the pertinent information, nice, short, and sweet information in the bottom, and shipped him. This one I did provide free shipping for, so I just went ahead and shipped it with the other napkin rings. All right, these next item is the Remington Rifles and Shotguns tumblers. They have these pheasants on them. Really anything that has any, gun manufacturing or gun related barware typically does very well as with birds on it, the pheasants do well. I picked these up for 69 cents each at Goodwill, and I sold them for $20.43, and the buyer paid $7.85 shipping. The next item is the Blue Sky Clayworks Heather Gold Minnick Happy Birthday October collectible. My dad actually picked this up in a lot of stuff that he got at a auction or a yard sale a while back. It's been in my death pile forever, and I did finally get it listed. It was brand new in the box, never used, and it's just like a little, you put a candle here. Oops, let me go back here. You put a candle here, and it illuminates the little house, and it has a little candle on top. They did these for every month. This one was for the month of October. I had another one of these that has sold too. So these are a collectible piece that I do find if I can get them cheap enough, and they do readily sell for about $20 to $25. This next item were these vintage Jacob Zook hex sign, these little Pennsylvania Dutch Amish, these little round hex signs is what they are. They mean different things. And one of them was for the peddler, one of them was for the happy day, and I couldn't find the other two names of them. These sold very, very fast. I paid 99 cents for all four of them, so this was an excellent sell. They sold for $22.50, and the buyer paid $5.50 shipping. They were just 7 3/4 inches big, so they weren't real big, and they did ship out first class. They were unsigned, but the look of them did resemble the Jacob Zook, and I did put that in the listing down here, and the buyer received all four. So these are something that if you see these, I don't find these very often, but I definitely will pick them up again. These did sell very fast, and especially if you can get them for as cheap as I did, definitely pick them up. Okay, there's another one of these things sold. My husband, we bought these in a big lot, at a grab bag lot at Goodwill for $2.99. We've sold 4 of them so far. We have, I think, 1 or 2 left. They're selling for $10.23 a piece, and the buyer is paying shipping on these. And they are some sort of a fan for a fan. They're a coil for an industrial fan of some sort. All right, this next little girl, she sold for $25.50. She's this cute little vintage Goebel Hummel figurine. I picked this up for 25 cents at the a flea market that I had gone to, or a fall festival that I had gone to. I picked up a bunch of figurines for $1 a piece. On the bottom, you can see here, she was marked Goebel, West Germany, and she was dated 1950, what was it? Well, gosh, I can't hardly see it. Let me see here. 1958. It's down here. She's dated 1958, so she is an older one. This one's a little bit more collectible than your everyday run-of-the-mill Goebel. She's a Christmas figurine. She's just teeny tiny. She's just 3.5 inches tall. Very, very cute. She had no flaws on her whatsoever. You can see that she was hand painted. You can see the brush strokes in her gown. She was a cute little piece, so definitely would pick her up again. Okay, these jeans I have had forever, probably for 2 years or 2.5 years. I know that because I don't use this background anymore. And I'm no longer buying jeans, so this is something that's just kind of been lingering around, these Vigos women's dark wash bootcut jeans. Um, they finally sold for $18.25, and the buyer paid $8 for shipping in a padded flat rate envelope. Okay, the next thing are these little vintage made figurines. I also picked these up for 25 cents a piece at the festival that I had gone to. The same vendor that I picked up the little Goble angel from. I really liked these. They were made in occupied Japan, which things that are made in occupied Japan there's just a 6-year time frame in the 40s that these were made. So they are a little bit more rare, a little bit more marketable, and I like the subject matter because since this was during the war, these kind of look like nurses. They could be maids. So I made sure that I did put that maid and nurse as an adjective in my listing. They're made in occupied Japan. They're the glossy ceramic during the World War II era. So those are all keywords that I used in my title. And these sold for $22.50, and the buyer paid shipping. And they're in excellent condition. I did use the ruler to be able to show their size, which I do like to do. It just helps clarify a lot of things. The buyer can see themselves how much or what the measurements are. So if there's any dispute in the size, you have the pictures right there that they can zoom in and see. So definitely would pick these little girls up again. I tried to find them on a Google image search to see who their maker was, and I couldn't find anything. So without knowing the maker's mark, I just used as many adjectives as I could to get them noticed. Okay, these next guys are these little vintage 1960s Mark's Toy Plasti-Marks 6-inch Western cowboy figures. They're these two gunslingers. They were identical. They're in great condition. I think I picked these up in a lot at a flea market or a yard sale. But the two of these did sell for $20.43. They did ship out through the global shipping program. I did do free shipping on these, but I just had to send them to Kentucky with the global shipping program. So it cost me, it was first class shipping and didn't cost me over $4 to get these shipped out. Okay, these next item are these little vintage Department 56 Snowbird light up Christmas tree bisque bulb covers. They have these little clips on them, as you can see right there, and you would put your light bulb basically in the bird's behind, and they would light up with the lights. The interesting thing about these is they were purchased in the 80s at Walt Disney. You can see here the original tag. They were $5.50 back in the 80s. They are Department 56. These I picked up in an auction lot. So these were I probably paid $4 for the entire box, and I'm just piecing out the things that I have bought in that box. And these sold for $19.50, and the buyer paid $5.50 shipping. All right, this next item is these Radica Pocket Handheld Electronic Games. There's Blackjack, 21, Slots, Battleship. There's a lot of 5 of these. I've had these for a very long time, and I was trying to sell them singly, but then just decided to just go ahead and throw them together as a lot, and they sold for $21.38, and I did ship these out for free. Happy to see them go. Will not buy these again. This next item is something that I actually picked up from the bins, which surprised me that it was still in such great shape and it was still in the original box. It's this little Monticello in Summer Home of Thomas Jefferson fine porcelain Christmas ornament. It was brand new in the box. It had never been taken out. It was still the way that it was set in the box. You could tell that it had never been used. It was still, I'm trying to point out with my fingers. You're not going to be able to see that. It still had the little tie-ons right here on each side. Sold this for $15.99. Did ship first class, and it went off to its new home. The next item is this vintage abalone shell lucite resin turtle shaped soap dish. I also put trinket dish. A lot of people will use these to hold their rings or little things, trinkets like that next to their sink when they're washing their hands. or doing the dishes. I love this stuff. This is very mid-century modern. You can see the abalone shells in the turtle's body. And it kind of almost looked like glittery, you know, in the resin. These don't sell for a lot of money. This one sold for $10.99 and the buyer paid $5.50 shipping. I think I paid a quarter for this. I do have another one, I think, listed or getting ready to list. I do have a couple of them in the shop as well, but I picked these up. Again, they're not big money makers, but they do bring some traffic to my store, and I love them. As well as this. This is something that was also in my death pile for a long time. Picked this up at a flea market for less than $1. This little vintage carved wood butterfly shaped napkin holder. I also put mail organizer. It could be used for that as well. It's very boho chic. It was just this carved wood. It was in great shape. And it sold for $9.99 and the buyer paid $5.50 shipping. The next item I sold were these majestic melamine speckled tan vintage hard plastic coffee mugs. There's a set of 2. These were really cool. I picked these up recently, paid 69 cents a piece for them. They were marked Majestic USA. I had said that these would be great for a vintage camper. And these sold for, I think I took a best offer of, I want to say $19 for these. I did do free shipping on them. They look very hefty, but they did ship first class, and I didn't have to worry. I just wrapped them loosely. Didn't have to worry about them breaking because they're hard plastic. So just wrapped them up in tissue paper to protect them from scratches, and they did ship out first class. This next item is a 1982 World's Fair patch. And it sold for $9.74 and the buyer paid $3.25 for first class shipping. This was actually no, I picked this up from the bins. Sometimes I see things like this and I think, okay, it's from the 80s, it's from the World's Fair, so there's a little bit, and it's a patch, so there's some cross collectability there. So I probably paid maybe 10 cents for it. It was very easy to take pictures of. Just 2 pictures, the front and the back. It had never been used, and sold it for, you know, $9.74. Same with this. This was a small little token. This was an antique trade token for Palmolive soap, probably dating back into the 1940s. This sold for $11.40. I did provide free shipping for this. It shipped for $3. And this was also something that I believe my dad picked up, and I have a couple more of these that I need to list too. But these, you know, they don't bring in big money, but they do provide some activity to your store, and they're so easy to list, they're so easy to ship, so why not give it a try? This next item is something that I got in a big grab bag full of Christmas ornaments from Goodwill. And this one was this little Starbucks Gold to Go cup. It sold, Christmas ornament, it sold for $12.25. I did provide free shipping on this, and it's from 2014. These next 2 items are 2 items that were in my 5 Things Friday from Wildflower Antiques. These are things that I pull from the shop that I've had for a while that aren't selling in the shop, and I sell them online. These next 2 things were 2 of the things that were featured on that series. This one was the Madewell 20 white milk glass CD 164, made in the USA. It's a glass insulator. It did have the swirl, and this is what is called an F skirt on the bottom here. It sort of looks like little hobnails. You can see, you can't really see it that well in the pictures, but you can see how it's a little rigid down here, and it has this trim going around here. These white milk glass insulators are a higher collectability than just your everyday run-of-the-mill glass insulators. So this one sold for $28.50, and the buyer paid $7.85 for expedited shipping. And the next thing is this little vintage Blue Ridge Pottery Betsy pitcher. She's so cute. I had her for a very long time in the shop. And she did sell for $38.25, and the buyer paid shipping. She was in excellent condition with no chips anywhere. She was so cute. I just loved her sweet little face. She just looks like she's just so confused, and I like that about her. I can relate to her. But she did finally sell, and she will be shipped off to her new home. Okay, guys, so like I said, my sales were just down 5%, which, like I said, isn't like the greatest thing ever, but it isn't the worst thing either as well. So I'm feeling pretty blessed right now. So on eBay, my gross sales for the week were $899.57. And I had sold 28 items. All right, I do also sell on Poshmark and Mercari. And on Poshmark, my sales were $73.80. I sold 7 items. Again, Poshmark is not just not my favorite platform to sell on. And Mercari, my sales were $74.70, and I sold 5 items. So as you can see, in my experience, Mercari doesn't have as many low ball offers as Poshmark does. With Poshmark, you basically have to almost give your stuff away, it seems like, with all of the closet clear outs that they do and all the offers to likers that they're wanting you to send out. It ends up being that you kind of feel like you're giving your stuff away. On Mercari, it seems like I get a lot more straight up buys. Like, I don't get a lot of offers. They just buy my items right up. And you can see that I've sold pretty much within $1 amount between selling 7 items on Posh, and on Mercari I sold 5 items, and I still made the same amount of money. So leave a comment below if you've kind of noticed that too. Do you notice that Poshmark customers really want a deal, and then versus Mercari, you kind of get a lot of straight up sales? Leave a comment below if you are experiencing that too. So my total sales for the week of October 21st through 27th were $1,048.07, and I sold a total of 40 items. It's not been as great of a week as it was last week, but I'm not going to complain because, again, I wasn't affected like so many people were by the horrible eBay glitches that were going on. So I hope that you guys have a really good week. I hope that you're getting some sales. I'm hoping that eBay will get its act together and the glitches will go away and fourth quarter can commence as it should. Let's all just take a moment and say, please, eBay, get your act together and let's get these glitches solved. And let's go ahead and have a wonderful fourth quarter, because I think that it's coming, and it should, because everyone's worked really hard. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope that you like this video. I hope that it's informative and that you're learning something from it, maybe getting an idea of what some items are selling. So when you're outsourcing, you can kind of look for some of these items as well. So if you've liked this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Guys, it really does help my channel grow. And leave a comment below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.